I am over caffeinated.
I'm not. I'm eepy.
God, I wish that were me. I drank a little bit of a Red Bull. I sort of had a Red Bull at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm, I'm feeling all right. Feeling alive. Tomorrow's July 4th.
Yes.
Today is July 3rd. This is Dropkick the Commute with MrGaleer Mufussy.
What is going on? Dropkick the Commute. How
Dropkick
exciting.
the Commute, July 3rd. Yeah, it's crazy. And, what's even crazier is we've almost been doing this for 3 months.
2 months.
2 months, sorry.
Feels
I
like
counted,
3.
I counted May as its own. Well, anyways.
Well, but when you subtract, you have to, you know.
Yeah, well, I haven't taken a math class in 10 years.
Right.
Anyways, how are you?
I'm good. We have a lot to discuss today. We had Forbidden Door on Sunday, so if you want to know our Forbidden Door, if you want to know our Forbidden Door, I was trying to plug it, Galeer.
Oh, sorry. sorry.
If you want our thoughts on Forbidden Door, go check out our last episode. And today we're gonna do SmackDown, Collision, Raw, and NXT. So
we probably would have had less to cover if you didn't get fiber optic installed when we were supposed to.
Oh, it was so worth it, bro! I uploaded the podcast episode last night in 2 minutes. Absolute.
How long did the last
changer.
One before that take?
Like 45.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Absolute game changer. Yeah, I got fiber installed yesterday.
Literally a game changer too. It'll change the way you game.
Yeah. Speaking of game changer, right? You like that segue? The two guys from WWE are going to be in GCW.
Oh, not only them. Someone else got announced for it too.
Really?
Female wrestler. Okay, so it's the Creed brothers and Shayna Baszler.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and that is July 28th. Oh, Mike Santana versus Homicide. Wow!
Whoa! So lots of big names, it seems.
Yeah, I might. Honestly, we should watch it and talk about it because I feel like
my first GCW.
Dude, GCW fucks. They're so good.
Hell yeah. And then also another thing we're getting tonight at 7 p.m. is finally WrestleMania 40 Behind the Curtain.
Oh, that's tonight?
That is tonight at 7 p.m. on YouTube.
I hope it's good because, like, I mean, I feel like it would be good, but when they first announced it, I'm going to be very honest, I wasn't that hyped for it because it's like, yeah, it happened. But, like, what more are we going to talk about? So...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope it's good. I usually really enjoy the WWE documentaries, even if
their docs are good.
Yeah, even if like a lot about the topic, it's still really well put together, and they're good to see because you see a lot of behind the scenes like footage and segments and stuff. So it'll be cool.
They take video of everything there, dude.
Yeah, I feel like they constantly have a camera rolling.
Yeah, which is necessary for that, especially if you want to make content. There was another thing too that I was gonna say. Speaking of documentaries, I started watching Who Killed WCW.
Hell yeah.
I watched 2 episodes of it so far.
Nice.
Really solid, and honestly there was a lot. Like, I was very in the dark about WCW. I never watched it. I never grew up watching it. I didn't know that WCW kind of sparked the Attitude Era.
Yeah, it really did, in a way.
I didn't realize that was how the Attitude Era kind of was inspired.
Yeah, so they were like, they had their edgy start because they needed to up their ratings and everything. And then the Attitude Era was a response to WCW. Essentially.
That's crazy. What I did know was how much Bret Hart hates Goldberg.
Oh my god, Bill Goldberg.
Actually, honestly, how much most people... Well, they didn't hate Goldberg, they just hate how unsafe he worked.
The thing that I really like about this documentary, though, is it, like, truly wasn't Goldberg's fault in the beginning. because he literally had no idea what he was doing, and they threw him into the main event spot.
They just brought him in there because they needed a fucking new guy to be the face.
Yeah, so you make him undefeated, you make him only in squash matches, and of course he's not going to know what he's doing. His first time out his first time in the ring was an episode of Nitro.
Crazy.
It's insane. And my thing that I really enjoyed in that was, like, they showed a little spot where he's in the ring with Kevin Nash. Or no. He's in the ring with Scott. And he messes up a spot. And Scott's like, what are you doing? And Bill goes, I don't know. Like, in the ring. He's like, what are you doing, man? And he's like, I don't know. I have no idea. And on Busted Open, they had on Medusa as well, and they were talking about the documentary and all that, because she was obviously a big name in WCW, and she talked a lot about the behind-the-scenes stuff, and she said it was an absolute shit show, and she has a lot of respect for Goldberg, because he truly did not know, and then he got training.
I guess if you're getting thrown into a circus, and, that... It's already messy there. So.
Yeah, you're a football player and you get told to go tackle a guy in the ring and pin him. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
You know?
I know even less about the Vince Russo era, so I'm very interested in the next couple episodes. There was only 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right?
4. Yep.
So, yeah, it's going to be good. But so far, it's good.
Yeah, it's a really great documentary. And I was expecting it to be great because it's the Dark Side of the Ring people, so...
I know Tony Schiavone isn't really a fan of Vice documentaries, or that crew specifically.
Oh, really?
He said on his podcast, he said, I'm pretty sure he said something like, I want nothing to do with those people. They, like, meaning the people making the film.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, their stuff is very, like...
It's sensitive.
It's sensitive, and it's very they're trying to tell a story through a documentary. It's very, like, one-sided. And although this one, like, they tried to have a bunch of different perspectives, I think the point was to show you, hey, everyone's a piece of shit, and everyone had a hand in who killed it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's everybody's fault.
Yeah. But enough about the past. Let's talk about... Well, I guess not enough about the past, because we're going to talk about last Friday.
Yeah, we're still talking about the past.
So Friday Night SmackDown on MSG. It was a crazy episode. They were pushing it to be big, and it was big. We had a lot that happened. But first, to start off, we had the Bloodline coming out, and then immediately after, they're standing at the entrance, and a car pulls up, and Cody Rhodes and RKO come out. And
they followed him.
Yeah, they followed him. We start off an episode with a fucking gnarly brawl, man.
Yeah, it was heated. This whole thing with the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes and company, it makes me keep forgetting that Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion right now, because he hasn't, like, been coming out with the championship.
Right, he just comes out and does his walk and then, fights people, because he hasn't had,
I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing in the sense that we don't necessarily need to focus. We can shift more of the focus to the World Heavyweight Championship as, like, that's the title you want to watch now. I mean, it's going to be the main event at Money in the Bank.
Right.
So it's good in that way, because he's also not putting it up at the pay-per-view. They're doing the 6-man tag.
Right.
But it's also low-key kind of bad, because, like, Cody hasn't had an incredibly, like, memorable run so far. He's had his matches with AJ Styles. I won't say it's bad. It's not bad. It's just... people are, like, wondering what's next for it, and then, the fact that it hasn't been featured too much is kind of, from what I've seen at least, put a bad taste in some people's mouths. I don't really care personally. That's just my thoughts on it.
I've liked it so far. Like, you know, we did talk about how he was just kind of these one-off feuds, and then he had his thing with AJ, but now he's actually, like, continuing the story that was supposed to be finished, you know?
Yeah, like, that's what he said, too. He was like, I thought I finished this story.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I fucking didn't.
Yeah, so I like it. I'm liking everything with the Bloodline right now. I feel like Cody and the Bloodline are just tethered, you know? Like...
Yeah.
They're going to be connected for forever.
But also, Roman said not to deal with Cody anymore.
Right.
Or not, I don't even know if it was not to deal with Cody anymore, but Paul Heyman's like, you should consult with Roman. Like, Roman really doesn't want you to deal with Cody until he's back. And then Solo was like,
I don't give a fuck.
Coming back.
Yeah. He's
poor Paul Heyman.
Dude, yeah, this, he looked so stressed in this episode, and I think I read a thing where he supposedly, I don't know if this is real or not, but yeah, he didn't sleep, and he has all that stubble on his face, and...
His hair's graying out a little bit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We thought it was crazy when he just, like, did the gray hair thing,
yeah,
you know, while Roman was gone, but this is, like, the next step up. I mean, like, he was crying. There were tears going down his face. Like,
yeah.
Bro put on an Oscar performance.
He's a Hall of Famer for a reason, man.
Yeah, that's true.
And at the end of this, like, the Bloodline was pretty prominent the whole night, and at the end of the episode, well, first off, Paul Heyman was like, where's Jacob Fatu? And Solo's like, he's not here, bro. I swear. He's not here. And then they come out for his acknowledgement ceremony, and Solo's like, introducing my enforcer, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
He comes out, dude, his entrance cooked.
His entrance was really good.
He's
good.
Scary,
man. He's so scary.
Yeah.
Again, let's keep using the word aura.
Yeah, he's got it.
He has more aura than any of those guys combined.
Absolutely.
And
he's scary. He's what you would expect for, like, an enforcer, you know?
Well, he's like the mold. He's like the OG, like, Vince McMahon mold for, like, a big, scary guy.
Yeah. Well, not even just big, scary guy, just big, scary, like, Samoan. Like,
yeah.
Rikishi, Umaga. He's like an Umaga clone.
Yeah.
And he is scary, and it's exactly what you would expect from them.
We thought Solo was the Umaga clone.
Right.
We thought Solo was everything we didn't know we could get from Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. And he absolutely is proving that he deserves to be in that role. So yeah, shit went down at the end here. We had the acknowledgement ceremony, and everyone's like, Solo, I love you. I acknowledge you.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
And they went, person by person, and then he got to Paul, and he's like, he pulls out what's that necklace called? Do you know the name of it, or?
No, I don't.
It's Roman's, like, necklaces that he wore, like the Samoan tribal necklace, and he pulls it out, and Paul Heyman's like, where'd you get this? What? And he pulls it out, and he's holding it, and he goes, Solo, I love you, and I acknowledge that you are not my tribal chief. And the fucking crowd went crazy. Erupted. That roof blew off the place, man.
Yeah. Well, this was the payoff, dude. It's been building for weeks.
Yeah.
He couldn't take more of it, but Solo did not like that. Nope. And he sicked his boys on him. Hit him with the Samoan spike. He sicked his boys on him.
Did you see?
And they took Paul. They took Paul to the outside. Well, first they Samoan spiked him. Then Fatu did the diving headbutt, and then they took him to the outside. They picked this huge man up and power bombed him through the announce table. And you don't see Paul Heyman get thrown around a whole lot.
He looked like Humpty Dumpty.
Oh, Paul. No.
He did.
Oh, man. Yeah, and it was crazy. Nobody, where did Cody and friends go? Nobody came out to...
Yeah, they all left.
Nobody came out to save him. Poor Paul.
Supposedly they were removed from the building.
Domination via the bloodline. Now everyone's like, who's the new wise man gonna be? Who's the new wise man? And everyone's like, Rikishi. And everyone's like, Armando Estrada, who managed Umaga back in 07. And then, I don't know. Do you think there needs to be
I don't think they need one.
Wise man?
I don't think they need one. I think the story is gonna go, they're just fucking wreaking havoc.
Yeah, they don't have any direction.
Right.
Like, that's the whole point. And then, you know, Roman will come back.
And he'll be like, all right, let's put a stop to this, clowns.
Yeah.
So.
The match will be good on that Money in the Bank. I don't know which of 3 of the Bloodline are going to be fighting, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope Jacob's in the match.
Yeah.
Maybe Solo will be like, all right, you guys go for it.
Yeah, true.
And it's Tamatanga, Tongaloa, and Jacob. That could be fun.
I think it would be.
When that bit happened, I wrote on my notes, hashtag not my tribal chief in all caps.
It's true. Not my tribal chief.
Not my tribal chief.
We've seen many movements in the past. Not my president. Not my Roderick. And not my tribal chief. The Holy Trinity.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, they're the Holy Trinity of not accepting change.
Yeah. Hopping over to AEW real quick on Collision. A lot of it was just build to Forbidden Door, so if you want to know about Forbidden Door, again, go check out our Forbidden Door episode. But I do want to mention a funny learning tree bit, because we have to talk about the learning tree at least once a week. The learning tree, he goes, hey, Lonnie, keep that camera straight, follow me.
No, Lonnie.
And they're walking down the hallway, and he walks into another wrestler. I forget who it was. And he goes, did you just get your wrist taped? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, that's not right. I need to go talk to the doctor. And he walks into the doctor's room, and he goes, hi, guys. But it's just the one lady doctor sitting there. And he's like, you did not do that wrist tape right. You need to do 3 solid loops around the wrist for the best support. And she's like, okay. And she walks out, and he gets close to the camera, and he goes, I've got another secret tip. Before you leave the doctor's office, take a roll of tape and put it in your bag so that you don't have to buy it later. There was another really good one later on where it just cuts to him standing outside of the bathroom. And he goes, hold on, I need to check something. And like a crew person walks out, and he goes, hi. He goes, hey guys. Again, it's just the one guy, and he goes, did you wash your hands? And they just stare at each other, and he's like, and then he walks back into the bathroom and washes his hands. And he goes, thanks guys, and then he cuts away.
Hey guys to the one person.
Yeah, it's so good.
I started noticing he does, like, he did it at Forbidden Door, where he had someone in a fireman's carry. Before he did the move, he just waved and said, hey guys. Some people are like, this shit is, like, annoying.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Is. It's very annoying.
There was,
but you know what?
There was one more bit after that where they walk backstage, and he's like, follow me, Lonnie. And they go to the back, and there's a Zamboni. And he goes, oh, as a Canadian, I really love hockey, and I know what Zambonis are for. This was invented by Frank Zamboni in 1972 or whatever he said. I forget what year. And he's like, this was invented by Frank Zamboni, and so they can clean the ice. I hope they know how to drive it. Let me go check with the crew. And he walks in there, and then it's Hook, Samoa Joe, and Shibata, and then they get into a little brawl.
Oh, that's good. I need to go and get my Chinese food. It's inside.
Okay. Monday Night Raw. Again, Jey Uso's entrance in the garden.
Aura, the word of the day.
Aura Mensa.
You know, I wish I was there, man.
Dude, you could have went.
I could have went. Oh, I never told you what my gift was. So, guys, when we finished the last episode, my girlfriend said, I'll meet you outside, I have a gift for you. And I was like, I bet it's tickets to Monday Night Raw. It was not, in fact, tickets to Monday Night Raw, which is totally fine. It was a 40-gallon tank for my leopard gecko that she found on the side of the road, and I was elated. That's
pretty fire.
It is pretty fire. But I do wish I went to Monday Night Raw, but it's nothing personal. Love you, bestie. No, it looked like a very solid show.
Yeah, top to bottom.
Top to bottom, baby.
Oh my god, same brain.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Same brain, me, you, Mufussy, Galeer brain.
Yes, we should kiss.
Yeah, me, you, same brain, Monday Night Raw, TD Garden, yeah.
Let's go. Next time they come around, I'll
Jay
fly up.
Uso fucking was doing the through the crowd entrance.
Yeah.
And that crowd was hype, and they seemingly didn't have a security person with him.
There was one. There was one to the right off screen, but I mean, he would have been useless. That crowd fucking engulfed
They were getting
him.
up all in his shit.
Yeah. He kept moving though. It was sick, dude. He starts off in the crowd and then he comes out and he's like, hit my music, and then they go out and oh my god, dude.
Oh, it's so good, dude. And then, you know, he hyped himself up for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Got interrupted by Chad Gable, who claims he's going to be the master in the bank, which is such a stupid fucking name.
So dumb. Dude, in this part, he was like shitting on Jay. He's like, you stole the fireflies from the Wyatt Six. You should be scared of them. And he goes, man, I don't want the fireflies. I'll take the mosquitoes or the cockroaches or something.
Yeah. It was
so good. But yeah, Chad Gable
keep giving him the fireflies.
Yeah, always. Chad Gable came out and he was like, yeah, you suck, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. and then what happens? The lights go out.
The lights around, the smoke, and then the piano. Boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom. He tries to
Chad,
he tries to escape through the crowd. He keeps running into people and he's like, ah! And then he just leaves.
Chad Gable's House of Horrors.
Yeah. And then, of course, Nikki Cross comes out with another box. And she gives it to Michael Cole. And then she walks out through the crowd and is like, bye.
Bye.
And I don't know if you saw on social media or not, but did you see Jey Uso during this?
Mm-mm.
People posted clips and he hid under the ring and he kept peeking out.
That's so funny.
So when this was happening, he was like, oh shit, and he went under the ring and he was peeking out. And then when they left, he came out and he's like looking around and then he like wiped his forehead. He's like, oh man, and then he left.
They don't want Jey Uso. They're here for Chad.
They're there for Chad.
Chad is look. Actually, let's keep moving on. I'll talk about this later because it has to do with Money in the Bank.
Okay. So again, what's in the box? Another interview. Very similar to the last one. It was Bo Dallas / Taylor Rotunda talking to Uncle Howdy, and then this time he's like, I am the reckoning. And then he like turns into Uncle Howdy. He like disappears and only Uncle Howdy's there, and he's like, I'm scary.
In case y'all don't know, Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy. That's what the point of this was.
Yeah.
In case we weren't clear on it like a year ago.
I am hoping that this keeps happening and they do interviews with each member.
Ooh.
I think that would be cool.
I would love that.
Because this was kind of showing like his thought process and like why he wanted to do this and why he wanted to start the Wyatt Six and stuff.
Well, you know, if he cares enough about each of the members of the Wyatt Six and cares about giving them like, you know, a platform, then maybe we will see them each get their own segment.
I think that would be super cool. to do.
I think right now it's just, as these Wyatt segments have always been, it's a very slow, very dramatic build to, actually seeing them. I think that's what's going to happen. Chad's a good pick to win Money in the Bank, but I think there's no way this doesn't get in the way of him winning.
Right. We covered this a little bit. I really, really, really want, and I think that even helps support our other idea. You have Chad like get screwed over by the Wyatt Six, right? I want Drew to win, and then he cashes in, and then CM Punk comes out and fucks him over.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't do it. The internet would be so mad, and I would be so happy, and it would be so funny.
I think that's what's going to happen.
That seems to be what it's leading up to.
Well, we look at everyone who's in the match, right? So Jey Uso, I think they're going to save him for some Bloodline stuff, and I don't think he's there yet. Chad Gable, he's got his stuff with the Wyatt Six. LA Knight, it has to... I don't think he's going to win, and if he does, maybe he cashes in on the U.S. title. But
yeah.
We've only seen that once before, and I really hope we don't see that again, because the U.S. title doesn't feel huge right now.
Yeah.
So he's got that stuff with Logan. Who else is in it, besides Drew?
Carmelo,
I could see him doing a similar thing as LA Knight, but I don't think he will, because he's still pretty new to the main roster. And then...
Who was the last one?
Who was the last one besides Drew?
Andrade.
I don't think he's going to get it.
No. I think
just with the way he's been booked.
If they want the Money in the Bank to be viable throughout the year, they have LA Knight or Jey Uso win it. Because even if Jay wins, he can still be involved in Bloodline shit.
Yeah.
And just have the Money in the Bank. But if they want to do the greatest thing in Money in the Bank history, you make Drew win, cash in, and fail.
Yeah. Well, also, you almost always, in the history of Money in the Bank, you almost always have one person cash in that same night, or at least soon after.
Yeah.
Not saying it's like a formula they need to follow, but that's always how they've done it. So we could have Drew be the one to cash in that night, and then whoever wins the women's one would end up, holding on to it. I do agree that Jay could hold on to it while being in this Bloodline stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd rather... I don't know. It just... Again, everything seems to have, heavy intention behind it.
Yeah.
So I don't think Drew would just flat out lose Money in the Bank unless Punk had anything to do with it.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think the right move, even if it is a little predictable, would be to have him win, cash in that same night, and CM Punk saves the day.
Hear me out. There's a 7th entry. Triple H comes out and he says, "Welcome to Money in the Bank." And then Joe Hendry comes out. No.
Yeah.
He comes out and says, "Welcome to Money in the Bank," and Brock Lesnar comes out and wins.
I was going to say, we could pull a 2019 where fucking somebody just gets injured backstage. They don't say anything about it, and then Brock Lesnar just comes out, and it's like, oh, he grabbed the briefcase. I guess he's the replacement and wins.
Yeah, as Mustafa Ali is standing at the top.
God, that shit made me so mad.
For 3 minutes, staring at the entrance.
I was screaming at the fucking wall, dude. I was so upset.
Imagine in Vince's mind, he's like, okay, you're going to get to the top of the ladder, and then you're going to wait for Brock to come out. And he's like, why don't I just grab the case? I'm at the top of the ladder. No. You're gonna stare.
I'm one of the new, fresh, young guys that is a promising star in this business. Brock Lesnar has held multiple world titles already. Fucking A.
No, you're gonna stare at the entrance and Brock is gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Anyways,
Lord.
I think it's Drew.
Yeah, I think Drew wins, cashes in, and fails. That's what's gonna happen. The Judgment Day is falling apart. Finn, I mean, it's kind of been leading to this past couple weeks, but Finn and Damian had a little talking to, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you because you want me to be. I think you're different. That world title changed you. And he's like, man, fuck you.
I think Liv Morgan changed you, pal.
Yeah, I think so. And
what's she doing in that clubhouse alone with you that's got you switching up?
All worked up, you know? And
dude, Damian Priest has been the fucking same. It's honestly, Liv's corrupting the Judgment Day from the inside.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of it.
She knows exactly. I don't think she's got any hots for Dom. She is simply just fucking ruining Rhea's faction so that she comes back to a mess.
Right. I agree.
She is doing what she said she's doing, and she's taking everything from Rhea Ripley. And Damian Priest, this is my note from their parts of the show. Damian, leave. And then, in parentheses, he's gonna leave anyway.
Yeah.
He doesn't need him.
He does not. And he said
well,
that.
I also think if he wins, which I think he will win, and he will hold the title till SummerSlam, I just worry. I really want it to be a clean win over Seth, but I don't know how that happens. But if he does get a clean win over Seth, then that just further pushes him to SummerSlam and makes us believe that, like, yeah, he's probably going to lose to Gunther at SummerSlam, but at least we know that I personally think this is a good world title run for him.
I agree. And that'll just prove that
a lot of people don't know. I don't think the Damian Priest is a good world title.
They're clowns. They're dumb clowns.
He's gonna leave Judgment Day anyways, dude. He's been babysitting, you know?
Yeah. And he doesn't want to babysit.
And then meanwhile, Carlito's in the back, and he goes, "I'm playing as you, Damian. Look."
Yeah, that was funny.
They're still playing that PS5. They have been for the last week.
When they were walking to the clubhouse, he was walking with Dom, and he pulled a solo, and he was like, "Hey Dom, did you talk to Rhea?" And he goes, "Yeah, she's fine with it." And he goes, "Really?" Because I did, and she's very much not fine.
So now Dom's lying?
Yeah, Dom is lying now. He's got the hots for Liv.
But it's like, dude, just fucking own up to it.
Yeah.
We can all see your tweets.
Yeah, all the
we can see your
faces.
Emojis and your fucking... We see it all. Yeah. Don't act like you're not fucking swooned. Just fucking come clean.
Yeah. And speaking of swooning, we had Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega for the world title. This match fucked, dude. It was so good.
It was a good match. Zelina, again, I've said it before, Zelina is very underrated as a wrestler.
Very much so.
You know why? I think it's because she's small.
Small, tiny.
But you know what? They had a great match.
They did.
And as anyone could have predicted, Dom fucked up the whole outcome of it.
Classic Dom. He brought in the chair. He tried to do what he did with Becky. He brought in the chair, and he was like, use it. And she's like, no, fuck you. And she threw it at him, but she got distracted, and then Liv did Oblivion and fucking won the match.
He had his match with Ray.
Yeah, the WrestleMania rematch.
It was true. A year plus in the making. I've been watching some interviews about Ray and his relationship with Dom as, like, wrestlers, and he was talking about how they keep it, like, super professional, and if they're seen in public, they make sure to, like, play to the story, which I love because that's very just, like, old school WWE.
Yeah, it's like old school kayfabe, and they were like, yeah, we're, like, normal when it's just us, but then, if we're in public, he'll walk in separate from me, and he'll sit at another table, and we'll just stare at each other.
It's good, and, Dom's a student of the game. You can call him a Nepo baby, you can call him whatever. I've never seen anyone learn so quickly.
Yeah,
he's like a fucking sponge.
He has made a name for himself in everything that 100%. He's doing, and he's
Ray to a degree. If Ray wasn't his father, definitely he would not be probably where he is. but the fact that he is where he is, and it doesn't necessarily feel like a Nepo baby type situation. Yeah. He's just learning.
He's created this character that's like based on Eddie, but it's also himself, you know, like it's
a new twist.
Yeah, it's like a modern twist on Eddie, and I think it's really, really awesome.
Absolutely. But we had this match, also a great match. They have good chemistry, as they should, in the ring, and that's where we got the spot where Liv came out to distract Dom, or rather to distract Ray, but ultimately ended up distracting Dom. He was on the apron on the outside, and he got kicked, landed on top of Liv, tried getting up, and Liv said, "You're not going anywhere, buddy."
She held him down.
She held him down, and he was just like, "What the fuck? Let go of me, let go of me." And then, of course, led to Ray winning that match, and Liv afterwards just like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry, I'll fix it, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And Dom was bleeding, and she like wiped off the blood from his mustache and was like, "Oh, you poor baby." She's like, "Please don't be mad at me, please."
Is she's not wrestling at Money in the Bank, is she?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
So
I really thought the Zelina match was gonna be at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it was definitely a pay-per-view quality match, but they did it on Raw, which is fine, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, I think that's it from Raw. And then
I will say that real quick,
to
cover something, the main event was so good.
Oh yeah.
It went insane. We had Dragunov, Drew McIntyre, and we had Cybertruck Sheamus. Dude, he pulled up in a Cybertruck, and then he came out wearing his just normal like jeans and a green t-shirt.
Yeah.
I've never seen funnier shit from Sheamus. No, but we already know Drew and Sheamus always have good matches,
right? Whether
they're on the same team or against each other. And then you add Ilya Dragunov to the mix.
Yeah.
What a fucking madman.
This shit was
he already
crazy.
Looked like a madman, but he still looks like a madman in front of these two. Like,
yeah.
I thought they were crazy, and then you throw Dragunov into that, and it's like even crazier.
Dude, there was a part where he went to go pin Sheamus, and it was only a 2 count, and he's like hitting the ring, and then he screams, and he's like, "Ah, God damn it!" And he's just crazy.
He is crazy, and I love it, and they WWE loves it too because they protected him. They had Drew win by pinning Sheamus.
They did,
which I think is pretty big.
Yeah.
And then and I just wanted to go over that because that was like very reminiscent of their match with Gunther.
Yeah, it was a banger for sure.
Put them in a fatal 4-way, please.
Oh, that would go hard.
Yeah,
a chop fest.
Ugh, please.
Meat. That's a match where you yell meat. Jumping over to NXT, we had a fucking brutal opening match. We had a street fight between Michin and Jaida Parker. This match was so good.
Violent.
They did a lot of good shit. Specifically, they fucking... What's it called? The hypnotic? Jaida Parker did a hypnotic through the NXT wall. I was like, what gnarly. The fuck, dude?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I was surprised at how hard this match went.
Yeah, it went, especially just for the opener, too. Like, they opened
it was like a 10-minute match.
Yeah, they started off with a bang, and, fucking weapons everywhere. They had kendo sticks, they had chains, they had bolts. They put, like, a bunch of bolts onto a chair. Yep. And then she, like, suplexed her onto it, and I was like, Jesus
Wasn't there,
Christ.
like, candy in a bag? Or something like that?
It was a chain, I think.
Oh, I thought there was, like, a bunch of candy on the ground or something.
Those were the bolts.
Oh, why did I think I heard someone say candy.
Was it candy? I don't know.
I don't know. Who cares? I tuned out real quick, and then I came back, and Vic Joseph was talking about chairs, kendo sticks, candy.
Yeah,
we'll get confirmation.
Yeah, we will. We will confirm that next episode if it was candy or bolts.
Yeah, but we confirmed that Jaida Parker is on the rise in
Indeed.
NXT. They put her over, and I agree. I mean, she looks like a star. She got the charisma for sure, dude, and like she's, a very good wrestler. I think she's more of a mouthpiece than a wrestler. She's,
Yeah.
definitely she's definitely a future star. I can say that much. I love her entrance too. I like how the font is like, and the music honestly is like GTA themed.
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know anything about the other two guys in that stable, but Jaida Parker is moving up.
And I think the big thing about this
could be.
The big thing about this match, too, was, like, neither of their factions came out. It was just them in a good street fight, no interference, just fucking went to town.
Good, we don't need them interfering. We don't need the men getting involved.
Right.
Dare I say it, I think Jaida Parker could be the next North American champion.
That is not a bad idea. We had a little backstage segment between Ariana Grace and Carmen Petrovich. And I just wanted to mention this because Ariana Grace is very funny. And she said, she's sitting there on the bench and she's like, and Carmen's like, what? And she goes, oh, nothing. Oh, fine, since you asked. I'm just so sad because I'm not going to Heat Wave and I'm from Toronto and it would be so great to come in front of my hometown crowd. And she's like, oh, I get it. I'm not going to be there either. And she goes, well, you're not as Canadian as me, so.
I didn't realize it was a fucking contest.
Yeah. And she goes, you don't understand. And that led into some other stuff, but I love that bit.
Yeah, well, they ended up making the pre-show.
They did.
In the pre-show.
They did.
I think against JC Jane and Jasmine Nix.
Yes. Yeah, those two.
That should be good. Dude, I will say, Petrovic's match was really impressive. She's like...
Yeah.
Her style reminds me a lot of Xia Li, if you ever watched her.
I don't think I have.
I don't know if she's even signed by them anymore, but she had the same sort of fighting style with the high kicks and very very familiar to me. And Xia Li was also a pretty big name in NXT a few years back, but I love that.
I was very impressed by her a few weeks ago, before the whole underground thing. Like, Carmen Petrovich had a match. I don't remember who it was against, but she came out with Natalya. And the match, that's the one that I saw where I was like, damn, dude, like, she's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, her style is really cool with all the kicks. And, like, I don't know, she's just got a presence to her. An aura, if you will.
An aura, the word of the day.
Word of the day. Uh-oh. You know what didn't have an aura?
Uh-oh.
Fucking Roxanne and Lola.
Okay, thank God. I was afraid you were gonna like this. I'm not even gonna lie, and that's no dig at you,
dude.
But I just like this segment. It sucked.
Roxanne, she like when she promos, she like tries to have some emotion, but it's so flat. And I don't know.
Well, you could say that. You could say that for both of them.
Both of them, yeah. And like Lola did her crying bit where she's like, "When I was trying out for the Olympics, my mom got sick." And
well, first off, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really did.
And also, I didn't even realize she was babyface. I think I missed a week or two of NXT, so I think that threw me off, but also just this story came out of nowhere. The fake crying, she wasn't selling the crying.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, I'll give it though. I'll give it to the NXT crowd though. They get behind fucking everything, which I love because it makes it feel like it matters a little bit. Like there were people in the crowd that were like, "Fuck yeah, Lola Vice! Like let's go."
Yeah.
I didn't see that, and And then after she said that whole story, Roxanne was like, "Oh my God, you're so right." Like, but even that wasn't believable. Like when she like obviously it was like she was faking it, and she was just kidding. Like, fuck you, I'm gonna kick your ass.
It doesn't matter what happened.
Yeah. So none of it felt believable.
Roxanne doesn't work as a heel.
Yeah. Then Roxanne needs work as a heel, and Lola needs work as a babyface.
Yeah.
Because that the word I would use for the segment is like shaky. It just felt like very like I didn't have a good grip on like what was going on.
Right. I agree. I don't know. It just felt so. I think flat is the best word I can use to describe it. It was just like, I don't know. It like they were just talking and I zoned out, man. I was just like, okay, like.
Well, I couldn't help but pay attention because it was so bad.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. What do you think is going to happen with this match? You think Roxanne's going to retain?
Probably.
Generally, you get like a big storyline with someone before they go for the big title, and I think Lola Vice winning that Underground match, as bad as it was like her big story.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Or maybe she gets like a loss to Roxanne, and then she'll come back in a little bit. But she was the like breakout tournament winner, so she got a title shot from that, and she didn't win.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the one where she wins. All I know is whoever's going to be champion, they got some work to do.
Yeah, they do. Roxanne's not doing it for me.
But you know what? That's why it's developmental.
It's true. Brooks Jensen is the guy that I cut out the segment for. Brooks Jensen is the guy. We did. So we had a little segment with Shawn Michaels. He comes on and he's like, over the last few months, there's been a lot of disturbances in NXT, and it's from Brooks Jensen. He got separated from his tag partner, and he drank himself into oblivion, and we had to put him on leave.
Shawn Michaels was like, yeah, he kind of reminds me a little bit of myself.
And he's like, I believe in second chances, so I'm inviting him next week to have a sit-down with Ava to talk about his future.
He's going to bring a gun, and he's going to shoot Ava in the face.
Oh, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, Brooks Jensen, he sent me a little note. He said, don't come to school tomorrow.
Oh, my God. What the?
Sorry.
Don't come to NXT tomorrow.
Don't come to NXT tomorrow.
I swear. So, yeah, Brooks Jensen is the guy. I know nothing about him.
He was in a tag team with Josh Briggs. That's all you really need to know. They were country boys. That's it. I guess he just started breaking into shows and he wasn't allowed anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I was expecting a little more from this whole, crowd interruption segment. But I also don't really know what I was expecting. So this will do.
Yeah, this will do fine.
Yeah, this will be okay.
We had our contract signing for the Fatal 4-Way that I don't want.
Nobody wants it. Just kidding. I can't speak for everybody.
I don't want a Fatal 4-Way. And literally, the segment was just... Ethan Page came out and he's like, I'm all ego, man. I'm badass. I'm going to win.
Ego.
Oh, ego. And they were like, no, I'm going to win. And then... And then fucking Javon Evans was like, I'm going to win. And everyone was like, shut up. You're 20. You're not going to win.
That's so mean.
And he's like, no, I am going to win.
No.
And he's like, Trick, I know you're the champion, but I'm going to beat your ass. And it was just a back and forth. And then someone took someone down. I don't know. I didn't pay attention because I don't want a Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
I just want Trick and Javon.
Trick and Javon would go hard. Again, I don't doubt their ability to put on a great Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good, but god damn it.
I don't know why we need to force either Shawn Spears or Ethan Page into this. I don't know. 2 heels, 2 baby faces. I guess it like makes sense, but I just really wanted Trick and Javon, I think, again, take Ethan Page, Sean Spears is already pretty built up. Take Ethan Page and just have him continue, like... I think what's probably going to happen is, like, Noam Dar and Oro Mensah are going to get, basically take him out of that match.
Yeah, probably.
But that's the feud that should... That's what they should have started with, not Ethan Page and Trick Williams. Because, again... Like, yeah, he could be a star or a good heel, but I don't know.
Someone commented today and said the NXT men's roster needs to step it up. I think Ethan Page is a good addition. No. They're doing great.
I won't say he's a bad addition, but I don't think the men's roster needed to step it up.
Yeah,
like, at all.
I don't think they needed to step it up. I think they're all doing great, and like, I am not saying Ethan Page shouldn't be in NXT, but he is not feeling special, and he doesn't have anything unique about him.
Yeah, well, again, no, I don't think a lot of people necessarily knew who he was when he showed up. Trick will retain.
Yeah. This would add more oomph to it, too. Because this match with Ethan Page alone was kind of meh.
Yeah. I will say Javon Evans' title reign is closer than we think, but I don't think it's the world title.
Yeah. Do you think he'll be like the youngest NXT champ? He'll get that, like... or do you think they're going to wait a little bit longer?
I think it's going to take a while. I think they're really going to have him go for the North American Championship.
Okay.
Because I think Wesley is probably going to win this weekend, and I could see him and Wesley having a fucking banger match.
Yeah, bouncy boys.
Bouncy fucking boys. But we will truly see once we get past Heatwave and Money in the Bank, which are both this weekend.
This weekend, Money in the Bank Saturday, Heatwave Sunday, and then we have a special guest on Monday. So with our guest, I'm thinking that we'll probably cover Money in the Bank with him.
Yeah.
And I think that would be good for like our reaction episode. We'll do one for Heatwave, and then we'll talk about, the weekly stuff.
I did hear maybe Adam Page as the wild card.
Oh, that would be fire. That's what you want.
That's what you want that's what I want, yeah.
That's what
But when I heard it, I'm not even gonna lie, okay, so a friend told me, and he was like, a lot of people are thinking Hangman, and I low-key was kind of like, aw, because I really wanted Nigel McGuinness. I could see Nigel McGuinness, though. We'll see. Yeah. Again, this comes out after Dynamite, likely, so...
We got lots of wrestling the rest of the week. And, it's gonna be crazy.
It's always crazy. It hasn't stopped.
It is.
I'm hanging on for dear life.
Hanging on to what?
Car crash. Ended with a car crash.